Uncle Carlese!
The Carlese Show, it's the man behind the mic. Tell the truth, keep it real, plus I give advice. Better tune in if you want to get your life. Catch me in the kitchen with the...
Welcome to the Carlese Show, y'all. It's been a long week. It's been a good week. I like where we're going with things. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Des because she has been helping tremendously with the show, and she's the only one in the studio right now. So if she messes up, blame her. It's been a long week, and I can't wait to get to that tea. Johnny, you got something for me?
Well, boy, do I got some stuff, man.
Spill it.
I heard that like fans are outraged with Janet Jackson, dude. She's canceling her tour dates.
I'm gonna spit my water out.
Canceling her tour dates. Can you believe that?
I can, but I can't.
How old is she? 100?
No, she's 49. Don't
She 100.
Don't throw shade, and she looks better than Taylor Swift. Before we get there,
She do look hella good.
She
You see that
does.
video she posted talking about how she was like announcing her like, taking back or taking time off from the tour?
But okay, Janet's 49. She's married to, is he a prince?
He's something like that. He looks like
He's an heir. Like, he's a prince.
Is he a prince?
Yeah, he's a prince.
Somewhere overseas. He's somewhere he's foreign. I know that for
So
sure.
people are upset, of course, because her tour, like she's pushing it to 2017, because the doctor said if she wants to have kids, now would be the time to have kids because she doesn't have too many. Yeah,
her ovaries aren't going to stay,
Her eggs are
young.
scrambled.
Yeah, her ovaries aren't going to be that young forever.
They're mad. Would you take it? Would you be mad about that or?
Seeing as how some people like bought tickets like last year, like in July, I'd be pretty upset.
I would be upset too because and a lot of people are like in 2017, I don't even know where I'm gonna be. So how can I, how do I know if I can make it to or attend the concert? But you got to remember she's a human being too. But also it's just like you don't start a tour and then decide to have a family.
Right? How are you gonna make this big old like fuss about coming back and like making a comeback and then all of a sudden, my bad, I forgot.
Exactly.
I really want to have a baby. Like
I'm upset about that though because I kind of wanted to go, but also he's I think 38.
he's ready. He says he's ready for a family.
He doesn't have any children, so he's an heir. You have to give.
His family's probably the one pushing and pushing for it. So
They are. And I mean, that's something she knew eventually she was going to have to do. But it's like, right? I hate as soon as people come back, they want to get pregnant.
like right as soon as they got something going for them, they're like,
As soon as Sierra came back, she got pregnant. As soon as Beyonce came back the first time, she got pregnant. It's just like, please, Rihanna, don't get pregnant. And Trina, just don't get pregnant.
She just needs to get some rest. The doctors ordered her bed rest and how she needs to like get her body back into shape and how she just needs to, take it easy and, take care of them eggs. So shout out to Janet.
Yeah. Good luck with all of that. You got some mad ass people.
So do you keep up with the Real Housewives of, Jersey by any chance?
I don't. I keep up with the Kardashians.
Do you keep up with Real Housewives of Atlanta? I know you do.
I
know you
love
like
it.
you some Nene.
Yeah, I like me.
So did you hear Phaedra's man, Apollo?
What did he say?
No, I mean, like, do you hear how he's, like, locked up and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, well, apparently he's getting, thrown into the shoe, or whatever you want to call it, solitary confinement. He was caught with a smuggled cell phone, bro.
Oh, that figures.
Contraband to get you.
I didn't even know that. I thought they, added, a year onto your time, because I know a few people, that has some cell phones that they smuggled in.
Well, I mean, he was at, it says here Fort Dix, so, in New Jersey, so, that's a pretty low, security prison.
Exactly.
So, his fellow reality star Joe Giudice is there as well, Teresa's husband,
Okay.
remember?
Did he go yet?
Horses, huh?
Did he go yet?
He's there, and I guess he got in trouble. He got in trouble as well. He's in solitary confinement, and apparently he was acting a fool with all the guards and trying to act for special
He must have just
treatment.
went, right?
He just got sentenced, yeah. And apparently they went straight to solitary confinement because they were just tired of that ass. They weren't having it.
So do you know how much time they got in solitary confinement? How much time they have
I know
to do?
Apollo has, I believe 18 months, and I don't know about Joe.
In solitary confinement? You are lying.
18 months.
You are lying. Who gets that much time by themselves? That will drive you crazy. I can't even do 18 hours.
I don't know. 18
Yes,
months
I can.
solitary
Yes,
confinement.
I've slept for 18 hours once I could do. That is horrible.
That's what I
No,
guess.
thank you.
They be
guess-
wanting special
yeah.
treatment though. They're over there
True.
talking about how you need to respect me. Do you know who I am? And they're like, bruh, they're the law.
Yeah. And they can't wait. Just imagine people have that kind of lifestyle and you can't wait till they get in jail to see what you're going through.
just to rough them up a bit.
That's good luck with you, brother.
Right.
Better him than me.
Right, moving right along, y'all. Empire's getting sued. Empire is
what?
getting sued.
The show?
Yeah, the show Empire is getting sued for
what?
like millions of dollars because apparently a fan is outraged saying that the producers stole her like life story for the character of Cookie.
Well, somebody said that the gentleman, it was a white gentleman stepped forward last year and said he kind of wrote something like an Empire and it got stolen. But that didn't stick. But she's probably trying to sue him, but she's not going to win.
But she's straight up saying that they took her whole life story, how she put a hit out on a man, she was a drug kingpin lord, and she got out and became like, the head of a record label, all this other stuff. But, Ratchet's talk, and what other Ratchet doesn't have that background story?
Exactly, they all have that same background story. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Like, I was like, what other?
Is she trying to, did somebody steal it from her, or is she just trying to say it's a coincidence type of thing?
No, she's going forward with the lawsuit. Like,
she's not going to win.
That's what I said.
She just
I
wants
was
some
like,
attention.
that's real cute. I was like,
since she was a drug lord, they need to lock her ass up.
Right.
Then since she want to be.
She's bringing up, she's like, Cookie even uses all the terminology that I use, all the curse words, and I was like, bruh. Everybody speaks like that.
Yeah, everybody speaks like that.
Y'all should hear my
damn
mouth.
well I do.
It's like, y'all should hear my mouth.
She's not going to win that at all.
Bless her heart, man. But Backstreet Boys are coming to Las Vegas. Backstreet Boys are coming
like
to Las they're having their residency in Las Vegas.
Yay!
That's what I said. I mean, I was an NSYNC fan all throughout elementary school, but I mean,
I was a Backstreet Boy fan more than NSYNC.
Me and you would have been fighting.
We would have been fighting.
We would have been.
Yeah, but you already got hit a few times in elementary, so I don't want to hit you anymore.
Let's not bring that up. But I mean,
that is so cool. Like,
yeah,
so all of them are coming back.
That's from what I hear. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah.
AJ,
it's gonna be like all from 97 to 2001,
that's what I said.
all in
like,
Vegas. Like
bachelorette
you have J-Lo, you have Britney
Mariah.
Spears, you have do it,
yes.
I'm all for the Backstreet Boys because I think NSYNC was more like pop, up tempo music.
Backstreet Boys was more like the rough around the edges boys,
but they were more like that R&B type of pop.
They got a lot more soul.
NSYNC was more like dirty pop, like cheerleader. So. Our stomachs start growling.
Ooh, I know.
We need to go eat
Hungry, y'all. We hungry. We hungry.
But
Backstreet Boys are coming back. Like I said, I bet you Mariah and all them are probably maybe not Mariah, but Britney and all them are shaking in their boots a bit.
Who's your favorite Backstreet Boy?
AJ.
Mine
AJ,
is Brian. I just like
AJ.
Brian. I think Brian's the coolest person.
Why?
Because Brian's like he used to hit them high notes, and he was just like the short one. I don't know. I just thought he was swaggy.
He was very vanilla. I wasn't very about Brian.
Yeah,
sorry
true.
about it.
I mean, and then Nick was just. I think everybody liked Nick because he was like he was the
lead, the blonde.
Right?
He was like the blonde boy with the little bowl cut that everybody
Carter.
was in love.
Wasn't he like the lead singer?
He was the other lead singer along with Brian and all that. Yeah.
I don't think Nick is whatever, but I was Team Brian.
Yeah, I wasn't about Nick.
I was Team Brian.
I like the one with all the tattoos. Yeah. AJ.
Speaking of J-Lo, didn't she just release a song and they said it's supposed to be the song of the summer?
I haven't even heard J-Lo.
She released it. I haven't heard it, but I seen it on YouTube, and I was like, nah, I'm going to pass that up. But I'm going to go back to it and listen to it.
Right,
and she released it right when the show that she's on ended.
Oh, American Idol?
American Idol. And
dude, the finale that just came on, and Mariah had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she was the only one.
She had no part of it. She didn't have a segment. She didn't have a little like, you know how everybody did like a little video like paying homage to like, their time on the show? I think
Mariah's like the shadiest.
She's the shade queen. There's no way around this. She's the shade queen.
When she gets old, it's gonna be horrible. Like nobody's gonna want anything to do with her and whatnot. It's just like
she's Mariah Carey though. She hasn't made. What can anybody say?
But I think the curly hair Mariah, she was more humble. She was already a good person. Like she was cool.
She was an artist. She wasn't just like, oh, I'm this diva.
A diva, exactly. You said the correct word. Exactly.
Diva.
She's a drama queen.
She is. She's the queen of all shade. I mean. What did she say about J-Lo? She saw who? She said she didn't work out who J-Lo was. So I mean,
did you hear the story about Ciara? So Ludacris and Ciara were announcing Good Morning America.
Oh, I did see that. I did see that.
So then Ciara had to read the nominees for rappers.
And how she skipped Future's name?
When it got to Future, she skipped his name. Now, a lot of people are upset about that because they're saying, like, she needs to stop being petty and let it go and just do her job. What do you think about that? Would you have done the same thing?
Well, I mean, she's winning, so I don't know why she's, throwing shade. Just live your life, boo-boo. Wipe your hands with Future and just, move on.
Exactly. I mean, she has baby Future. She has her big rock. She has her man. Like, what is she upset about? But
what else does she want?
Some people, they say the best way to pay shade to somebody is just to not even mention them or act like you don't know who they are.
Not literally, though. Like, she literally was like, oh, let me just skip that name real
Yeah,
quick.
and then Ludacris already knew because he hopped in. It was probably set up a little bit.
He said Future. Like,
yeah, like come on
like
now.
you know his name.
That makes sense. What else you got for me?
Kylie Jenner apparently started the wig trend, bro. What? I want to hear what you got to say about this.
That's some total BS.
On my sisters.
That's like how did she start? What did she say? She said she started the wig. She
said, quote, I just got to do whatever I want and people will follow. Yeah. I started the wig trend.
I think everybody needs to jump off her bandwagon like right now because she is way too young. She hasn't paid her dividends whatsoever. So they need to just jump off her coattail and let her see how it is.
It was just because she's related to royalty, and that's about it.
But they've done certain things. They've been on the show being embarrassed, not looking as good, doing their things, exposing their life, and she was just
in the background. She was the one that really doesn't really have a career. Because look at Kendall with the whole modeling thing.
Yeah.
She's doing big things. She's looking gorgeous. Shout out to Kendall. She's doing her thing. And I don't know. Just Kylie has her whole lipstick launches, which is doing really, really well. $30 lip gloss. So I mean, if y'all want to pay all that.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I don't like how big head. It used to be Kylie was cool, and I was just like, okay, I messed with Kylie, but now she's getting
She
big-headed.
was the cool one out of the sisters.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't like the uptight one like Kendall was when they were younger. And now it seems like the roles have switched.
She's trying to get attention.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Because all the situation with the Kardashian and Blac Chyna. So I think she's trying to, come and steal a little bit of that. So
steal some of that shine.
I tell her I don't like where it's going, and I'm not a fan.
Cut it now. Just end it now.
You need to cut it.
Dude, and like Wendy Williams was pissed off too. She's like, girl, let's not. She's like, I've been wearing wigs for decades. She said
she has the receipts too.
Yeah, I got receipts, girl, talking about if you really want to go there. She's like, let's not really discuss what your man is really doing. So
exactly. So I'll watch that one too. So is that what you guys? Is that it for the week?
That's it. I mean,
all right, y'all. Thank you for dishing the tea, Johnny. But you're not going nowhere. Why? The next segment.
I'm going to be, your guest star tonight.
Exactly.
So
we got something to talk to that's very important. We got to talk to Johnny about something when we come back. And I hope y'all can stay tuned because there's going to be a few teary eyes in here. After this break, actually, we'll be right back with the Carlese Show. Johnny will be sitting here with me. And we're back reporting live from... No, I'm just playing. Y'all, so like I told y'all, okay, we're back with Johnny. And today, Johnny has chosen to open up about his addiction. And at first, I wasn't going to do it. I was just like, no, this is too much information. Nobody wants to hear about this. And then I thought to myself, there's a lot of people going through addiction. And a lot of times, our family members don't know. And we have a lot of friends. So I think this is relevant to today's world. So I have a few questions for Johnny. We could talk about it. So how did this first come about? Like, when were you first exposed to?
My first, initial,
finding out about it, actually.
I think I was in, middle school when I first heard, the term tweak, or you know what I mean? Or you want to, you want to go tweak out and stuff like that. And I was like, ew, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? But, being from the hood that we're from, drugs are very predominant and they rule everything.
He said the hood y'all from.
Well, I mean, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know what I mean? But a lot of the people that I was around, smoked weed. They were all, drug dealers. All my brothers would do that, and it was just around me, and it was kind of inevitable almost to stay clear from that. But I mean, my first initial exposure to it was middle school.
So did that give you an interest in it, or are you just like, hey, they're doing it, I want to do it type of thing?
No, to be honest, I just, the first time I tried it was with a friend, and the first initial thing was, oh, you wanted to try something new, and it was like, yeah, I've smoked weed before, but I've never really done this type of thing. What does it feel like? And they were like, oh, you feel so good. I literally, the first initial high I got off it, I didn't like it. I didn't feel anything really. I mean, the only thing I felt was I was ice skating on concrete. That's about it. Which is kind of
ice skating?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can like
ice skating on concrete.
That's the only way I can explain the feeling.
So were you actually trying to skate, or were you just walking and it felt?
I was walking and it felt like you were gliding.
Okay, that's not fun.
That's weird. You know what I mean? And so I guess I didn't do enough that time. And
you didn't do enough?
I didn't do it enough. Oh. Yeah, but
so who was this? Was it a girlfriend, a girl that was your friend, or was a homie, or?
It was actually one of the kids around my neighborhood. So it was a a little neighborhood homie that would just he was a neighbor. You know what I mean? And I didn't think much of it at the time, but that's.
So how long again until you tried what they say you didn't do enough? Try more.
No, I mean, it was never brought up after that. It was never, shown to me again up until maybe my freshman year of high school, and I did it again, and that was when I was like, oh, I like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
The first time you tried it, you wasn't scared? You wasn't...
oh, I was terrified, but like, well, I didn't want to be a little punk, and I didn't want to show my friend that I was scared or anything.
So the peer pressure got to you.
Yeah, that was a good, like, definition of peer pressure. That's where it started.
So freshman year, how did that happen?
Freshman year, it was brought up to me by one of my girlfriends. Not girlfriend, but it was, one of my friends that was a girl.
We know.
And they were like, oh, hey, let's go hang out, like, ditching class. Like, my thoughts were we were gonna go smoke a blunt or something like that, you know what I mean? But like, no, we ended up going to a house, and she whipped that out again. And I was like, oh, I've seen this before. Like, I know how to do it. And once a week turned into twice a week turns into like every weekend turns into like the whole week, and not doing it on weekends, which is kind of weird because I needed my rest. And literally this thing deteriorated my body from like the day I started it, like doing it a lot, till the very last day I did it.
So it just became a habit. It became your medicine, huh?
It wasn't a medicine. I just did it to cope with the stuff that I was going through.
And it just made it better.
It just made me forget. It didn't make me care.
So what was the feeling, if you can describe to the feeling for people who've never tried it? Like once you started liking it, like what was the feeling?
It was just a rush. It was just, oh my God, like you feel it through your veins. You feel it like pulsating through your blood. Like it's intense. You know what I mean? But it just started taking a toll on my body, and everybody was starting to tell. You know what I mean? I have green eyes. I have colored eyes, if you guys can't tell. And your pupils dilate to like, humongous ass black holes. And everyone would be like, are you okay? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. But I was always having the cold sweats, cold shakes. It was
So
gnarly.
Did it get you paranoid at all?
I didn't start getting those effects until after high school, I want to say, because it was still fun during high school. I was so involved in cheerleading, and I was doing color guard, and I was so...
And you're able to do that and do that?
Yeah. It's weird. You would never guess the people that smoke meth. You know what I mean?
So it like gives you energy?
There was cheerleaders that I was doing it with in high school, and there was people, on, different sports teams that I would see here and there, and, it doesn't discriminate.
That makes a lot of sense. And you wouldn't even know in school and people doing it. That's crazy.
You have no idea how many times I've pulled up to a spot and been like, bruh, what are you doing here?
And they're like, don't say nothing, huh?
But yeah, it's like a mutual thing because you don't want them to rat you out, and then they don't want you to rat them out.
So how were you able to afford it?
I was with somebody that was making it. I was dating somebody that was cooking it at the time, and sometimes I don't even know how we would get it, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to say that this is what we resorted to, but like we would steal stuff. We would sell it to the cadets and in exchange for drugs. And I remember going into like Mervyn's and like just grabbing a handful of, T-shirts and just running out, knowing this is what I'm gonna go buy my drugs with. It's pathetic, but I mean, that's what people do nowadays.
A lot of people steal stuff to get that. That's like the number one way of getting it, because a lot of people who are on it heavy, they don't work.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them do. So it's just like, where are you gonna get your money from? So they boost and then, pay it. So that's something you went through? Yeah,
it came to the point where we were selling it out of the house I was living through. I moved out at 16 due to this drug. This drug completely ruined my life, and I didn't even know at the time that it was ruining it.
You were just being disobedient.
Oh yeah, I was a 16-year-old living on my own with a bunch of other, roommates that were on the same exact thing, and it was very idealistic at the time, because you were like, hey, I got this big old house, I got all these drugs, I got all these friends.
17, I can party. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the thing that made me, turn around was my overdoses. I've had at least 3.
Wait, so describe an overdose. Like, what do you mean by that?
I sat there. I remember specifically one time my parents were in Mexico, and I was on my way back because I was working in Sanger. I was working as a cheer coach in Sanger. On my way back, it was like 9 o'clock at night, I want to say. We lived out in the country out by Pilot on 18 and a half. And,
that's a long drive from Sanger all the way out there.
Oh, yeah. And it was only 9 o'clock, so it wasn't even that late. I just remember seeing the little center dividers of the street looking like yellow snakes. And I just remember just start twitching and sweating profusely, and I couldn't breathe. And I just remember falling asleep and spinning out, and my car just did 4 complete turns, and I landed in between a canal and a phone pole. And I just looked around and I was like, dang, like.
And that was like one incident?
That was one incident, yeah.
That's crazy. And then, so what happens when you're on it and people say, I need another hit, I need another hit? What's the come down like?
Oh, you're the worst person to be around.
Is it worse than a hangover?
Oh, it is. I want to say 500 times worse than a hangover.
No, it cannot be, because a hangover, I'll be ready to quit drinking.
I've been hungover, dude, and like to the point where like I want to kill myself. No, this is really like I'm gonna go slit my wrist if I can't find no more like dope. Like it's to that point. Like, why do you think people steal from their parents?
Yeah.
Why do you think people like, people who have killed their parents for stuff like this? I've seen like stories on, crazy tweakers that have killed family members due to insurance money or, just to steal all their belongings. For what?
That's crazy. That is crazy. So worse than a hangover.
It's gnarly.
So no wonder people do that. So how did you get away with it? How did, no teachers found out? The police didn't find out?
I'm sure a lot of my teachers found out because I went to a continuation school, and one of my criminal justice teachers, she used to be she used to be part of like I want to say like corrections or like a probation officer. Say, she would always just give me that side eye,
like I know what you're doing.
Like, are you okay? I remember one day specifically, she came up to me. She was like, "Are you doing okay? Like, just let me know if you're okay." And I just remember like being so embarrassed, and I don't know. It starts taking a toll at your.
I was gonna ask you, how to do your self-esteem? Like, how was it?
I acted a lot. I acted like I was all about me. Like I was like, oh, this is me. Like I don't care what anybody thinks. But deep down,
yeah,
you're like, damn. Like I really do care what people think about me. You know what I mean? Especially being the person that I was in high school. Being so out there, being so outgoing, and then from one day to another, like my light dimmed out due to drugs. You know what I mean?
And it was what, Chris? Was it meth?
It was methamphetamine. Yeah.
So how long were you on it?
I was on it from, I want to say, the first time I tried it, I was 14, up until I was 23.
And you made it out alive.
I want to say, so 9 years? I want to say 9 years.
So how long have you been clean?
I just turned 3 years sober on January 10th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And does temptation ever strike?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens a lot, actually. There's days where I wake up in the morning and I'm sick like a dog. I'm throwing up because my stomach is killing me from, I have an ulcer due to it. I have an ulcer in my stomach due to the drugs that I've done, and it's every day I'm paying for it.
And you feel like you want to go, and sometimes it's like it could be easier if I just did this and just instead of dealing with the pain or the misery and whatnot.
There's days where I'll be like, dang, life was a lot easier on drugs, but I worked so hard to get to where I am today to throw that all away. You know what I mean? And it's not worth it.
So what kind of advice you have for those who want to try it?
How do I say this without sounding really mean?
Say it.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it either way. Nothing anyone tells you is gonna stop you from doing it. So I mean, if you're gonna try at your own risk, that's all I gotta say.
I mean, no, because there's been times where it's been certain things that I wanted to try, but like I've been like, no, and it's not like you're gonna do it either way. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna, try it because I see certain people or do certain things, and I'm like, But I know myself I don't want to try it though, so I think that's a little different.
Like, how was it like on that one movie where she was like, what was it, Pitch Perfect, when she was like, there's times where I think I want to try crystal meth, but then I'm like, I better not.
Yeah, exactly. So any advice you can give to those struggling at this moment who are on crystal meth?
It gets
what
better.
Did you do to get off?
It gets better. You just gotta want it for yourself. No one's gonna help you. Don't sit around waiting for a miracle to happen, and don't sit around waiting for someone to save you, because the only person that can save you is yourself. And that's what I tell my little brother nowadays. You know what I mean? Because he's struggling with similar issues, and I get in trouble because I get asked to help him and give him advice, and it's like nothing that I say or do is gonna help him or prevent the inevitable, because
if he doesn't want to listen.
Yeah, I mean, it took me good couple years into my adulthood to even realize that what I was doing was wrong, Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Well, I thank you for sharing your story, Johnny.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you on the panel.
Okay, sweet.
All right, y'all, we'll be back with the panel. Welcome back to the Carlese Show, ladies and gentlemen, and I have my celebrity panel. I'm going to introduce them. One of my good friends, Ashley, Jeremy. You guys know Johnny. and whoever that is at the end. Yeah, works my whole nerves. So one thing I want to dive in is the Lamar Odom incident. So he was spotted out drinking in Sherman Oaks, and the outfit he wore out to drink, he went to church with the next morning. So some people saying it's not a big deal. He needs to go out and enjoy his life. But if you guys can remember, he was in there, his organs, his kidney, his all that pretty much failed.
I was gonna say, wasn't he just in like hospitalized and bedridden and like all this other extra stuff?
And they said he bought 4 cognacs, but he only really drank 1. They only seen him with 1. But Courtney didn't know anything about this. Actually, Chloe didn't know anything about this, and she found out, and she was pissed off about it. So, do you guys think he deserves a drink, or given that what he just went through to severity, he should be?
I don't think that, I think that he can drink if he wants to. He's grown, you know what I mean? Like, it's his life. Like, should he be maybe absolutely taking care of himself and watching exactly how, like, I don't think it should have been to the point where you went to church in your clothes. Like, that seems a little severe, but should he be able to drink? Yeah, he's grown.
But his organs were failed, like.
They're his organs. They're his own organs.
Yeah, but I guess the whole point of that is they want to know, like, Lamar told Chloe, he said, I already beat death once, I already survived death, I can survive it again. So now they're to the point to where they're like, they don't want to look out for him anymore because, now he's taking life for granted.
It's way too soon. I mean, if your organs are failing and then you're going to turn around and go back to drinking, I mean, that statement he made sounds like he's already suicidal. So
I heard in your body you ain't got no organs. You just walking around.
Completely off. Right?
But in cognac at that, you only need 1 of them.
Right?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed just for the fact that like Chloe did, put her pride aside, went to his aid, and like was there at his side, like brought out her family, her whole entire family like rallied together.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, to like get this man that like screwed them over.
I just feel like now they learn. It's that like saying was that like you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. Like
Chloe's
now,
in love though.
But now she knows
Chloe's
though, like,
so
and now
in love.
it'll just be her own decision if she chooses, because he knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. He's been in that position before.
Right.
They say
So
he's
if
to
it
the
happens
point.
again,
She's so in love and distraught. They said that she was, her new show Cocktails with Chloe. She had to take a whole week off. She couldn't film because she couldn't just wrap her head around like what's going on and why he's doing that, and she doesn't know what to do and whatnot. Like, till you just started a new show and you got to take a week off. Like,
But the thing that was like, if you watching like follow the Kardashians, like Chloe was not trying to have anything
If
to
you
do
keep
with
up
Lamar.
with the Kardashians?
Like I see what you did there. But Chloe wasn't trying to have anything to do with Lamar. You know what I mean? Like, he was like kind of like a nuisance in her life. Did she still love him? That was her husband. Did she wish better for it with him? But what he was doing, she didn't want anything to do with him. You know what I mean? Like, he was calling her from different numbers, and you know what I mean? He was in a hard place in his life. So she was really not trying to have nothing to do with him. When he got hospitalized and all that stuff, she felt like, oh, you know what I mean? I needed to be there, you know what I mean, for him, which as a wife, you know what I mean, you technically should, because she had to make all those decisions. But I don't feel like now it's like, oh, she's just so in love, and she, you know what I mean? Before, she was in a whole nother relationship. Like, she even made a joke saying, like, I have a husband and I have a boyfriend, because she was with James Harden, you know what I mean, still at the time. So I feel like all the publicity that they're getting, yeah, she's gonna, you know what I mean, seem like a real loving, happy wife, you know what I mean? But just before he was at the Bunny Ranch, he couldn't keep calling her phone.
Well, how you know the name?
Well, let me tell you.
You look like a bunny.
But wasn't he showing up to the places she was at all the time too? Like
like
videos,
clubs
and stuff.
Right.
I think it's one of those things, because she's on TV, she play that I don't want to be around him because everybody thinks she should move on, and then behind closed doors, she's answering phone calls, she's calling, oh, can you meet for like she's doing all of that.
you
Like,
figure she has an image that she has to maintain, especially being a Kardashian. And it's like all of her sisters and all of them were like, well, leave him alone and don't do this and do. Even when he was like in the hospital, they
Courtney
were like,
can't talk
that's
about
not your
nobody.
responsibility, blah, blah, blah. So it's like they're all in each other's business. So I feel like, I mean, I don't know what Chloe's going through. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I just feel like it's hard when you feel like you're by yourself in that situation, and then your family, the people you're supposed to be able to go to, are telling you, no, leave that situation away, or do this or do that, and then you're like pulled in all these different directions.
She loved her husband. Like, I didn't even like nothing about Lamar Odom, and nothing at all.
Not even his
especially playing with
game.
the Lakers.
Like-
I used to be watching like his garbage bucket. Ooh, I hate him. But when I started watching him on Chloe and Lamar and on the Kardashians, I actually started to like him just because how cute and in love they were.
and how much candy he ate. So we're going to get down to some Ask Carlese questions. These are questions submitted anonymously by certain people. I want to read the first one. A group of friends and I are celebrating our 21st birthdays, and we are going out of state. We are thinking about trying some fun party drugs as a one-time thing. Would you try it or leave it alone?
All of our face was like,
Everybody was like,
I'm like, y'all can answer that.
leave it alone.
Party drugs. Well, if you've never done it, I would say not to go out and try it in some public place where you've never been at, you know,
I'm gonna
because
be honest, it sounds like a lot of fun to me, so don't ask me. Don't
yeah,
ask
but if
me.
you don't know how
be
you're gonna
like,
react to
yeah.
them, then you're gonna have a bad time, end up in jail or something. Like
And if
you
you're
gotta.
an idiot and that's what you get then. If you're too little to be doing them and you decide to try some fun party drugs
feel
and you
like
whack out.
If you're
then that's your
asking
own
the
fault.
Carlese show if you should be doing drugs, you probably shouldn't.
No, I mean, I would like to say do what you want to do, but I know myself, I have a very addictive personality. So I know if I try something and I like it and I have a good time, like it's curtains, like that's going to become my new norm. So in order for me to avoid stuff like that, I just don't try it. Like, because a lot of people say, oh, it's just a one-time thing. Then it becomes a weekend thing. Then it becomes, okay, Thursday through Friday through Saturday, Sunday. Then it's like every day I need to function. Now you got a problem.
Yeah, for
a lot
some
of people think
people
they
it
can
does,
control it, and it's a drug for a reason because it's powerful.
But I want to know their interpretation of party drug, like what
I think ecstasy,
like ecstasy.
coke, fun stuff.
Fun,
like,
other fun stuff.
Yeah,
all
but-
it takes with stuff like that, right? Like these days, like all it takes is one time to do it, and like you can be like hospitalized for like the rest
Well,
of
because
your
you
life.
don't even know what's in
Yeah.
that
Right,
stuff.
they
half the
cut
time.
it with
You're
so much stuff.
experimenting
Yeah.
with
Back in the
drugs,
day, like our
exactly.
family members, they had that pure, like the nowadays
had that
they're
good.
like, okay, we ran out of stuff. Grab some bleach, grab
Yeah,
some Ajax,
exactly.
grab some,
Grab
they're
some Ajax.
They're mixing everything.
Well, look at the
Girl, get
Vicodin
that
issues.
comment.
There's fake Vicodin going around now, and it's killing people. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
you
some
don't.
kids at MLK just got in trouble.
Yeah.
Our
Exactly.
junior high school would be our junior
yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
So would you tell what would you give to the anonymous girl? Should she try it or leave it?
I would tell her to stop being silly and just go have a good time. Just, sorry, this might be bad advice, but just go drink like
Yeah.
regular ass
Yeah.
people
I would tell her to try
and
it
have
and
a good
invite
time.
me.
No.
Try it
Try
and
it
invite-
and invite Courtney Farmer when you do it.
See, what would you
I would say not to try it unless you know for a fact what's going to happen with you.
You
Other
don't
than that,
know
I wouldn't
for a
try
fact.
it.
You don't.
Then I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teenagers are gonna be young, you know.
She's not no.
Teenagers are gonna be
She's-
young.
She's 21.
Okay, well then, you know, you're gonna experiment with things, you know, here and there, but like,
No.
you do know the risks of, you know, things like that. You know, things can happen. You
Yeah.
know, bad things can happen,
That's
especially
what I'm
with
saying.
drugs.
Like, I like to live my life like as most fun as possible. Everyone knows that. But I'm also very responsible when it comes to certain things. When it comes
Yes.
to having fun, I work hard, so I'm gonna play hard too. So.
But let's be real, like, you know, young people these days aren't really responsible. They don't know their limits. They don't
Yeah.
know how to act. You know what I mean?
I was
They don't know how
a
to
very
act.
mature young person, so
Because
that's
you
why.
kind of almost had to raise yourself a little bit, so that's a little different.
That's another episode.
Yeah,
we're gonna get
exactly.
into.
How to parent.
Parent,
All right,
ooh.
Ashley, pull the next question.
I got you. One of my best friends owes me money and doesn't act like they really want to pay me back. Do I act civilized or go upside on their head?
Oh, I'm dealing with that issue all the time. There's a few people out there that owe me money, and I've tried to be nice, and I've asked them back on multiple occasions. I even pulled up to opportunities and try to meet them, and they keep playing. So I'm at the crossroads of should I pull up, act the fool, or should I get on Facebook, expose them, and tag them? Or, and you know what I mean? Like, you really want to humiliate yourself over $100 or $80, or should I just buy them? This amount of money, I bought you out my life. Like, that's cheap. If $100 I can buy you and save that, I'm gonna give you that here. You can have that.
Yeah.
See, I just don't let people borrow money. I just don't do that. Like, if it's my grandma or my mom, if they need something, they can have that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give it to them. They don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect them to give it back to me. But I don't like that. People be sending me messages, family members. Courtney, can I just act like I seen? Well, I was at work. Oh, you sent me a message? I did not know
And
that.
then show up with a Hennessy bottle that you spent in that $40 that they
Exactly.
needed.
Like,
Turning up on
I
Snapchat.
just don't do it. I'd be like,
I got burned way too many times, so I'm over.
Y'all
with the,
nice.
Yeah.
you know.
I'm over, like,
Yeah.
where's the camera? I need the camera to zoom in on me. Like, this is a public service announcement. Do not ask me for anything else. Nobody. No money. I can't let you borrow nothing.
Some sugar.
Like,
Right.
nothing, no sugar, no ketchup, no
Sugar.
anything. Like, don't ask me
I
for
even
nothing.
got real sugar at the
Okay,
house.
back
I
to
got
what y'all
that
was
stevia.
I think I need that save service announcement.
Yeah.
You know, I need to let people know, stop inboxing me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I do read it, and I have seen people asking
On
me.
Facebook, it say red.
Yeah,
gonna say, yeah.
yeah.
No.
So y'all know I read it, and no, nothing's wrong with my Facebook. When you ask me on in public, oh, did you get my message? I say no. Yeah, I got your message, and no, I'm not gonna loan you
As
no
soon as
money.
this episode airs, you
I didn't
get
even
like
know
3
he
inboxes.
He my
You got my
Facebook friend. I didn't know he let people borrow money. I probably would. He looked like he let a lot of people borrow some money. I would have
See,
shoot.
you not even right.
Like, hey,
So what would you
Jerry.
do if somebody owed you money? Would you
I mean, if somebody,
one of your best? You said one of your best friends?
It's it. Yeah, it's my breast friend. If it was I feel like if I'm calling, because I don't use the word friend lightly, and if you're my best friend, like I'm coming upside your head. Like
then you shouldn't even have to,
I
like-
shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't have to do that. Like if I, out of the goodness of my heart, let you borrow money, you should give me back that money, or at least keep me updated.
Yeah.
Like I'll be cool if you're like, oh Ash, like
I
I ain't
can't
got
this
it this
time.
time, but like, can I give you a little bit here, a little bit there?
Communicate.
Can I get communicate with me, because it's like if you're my best friend, we shouldn't have a problem with communication.
Yeah.
And just stop letting people borrow money. Just it's not like it's not working. It's no reason to continue doing it. It's not working. Stop letting people borrow money, and it's just frustrating. I mean, family members and all. What's the saying?
the
They say,
worst.
don't let anybody borrow nothing you can't afford to give to them.
Yeah.
Everybody just, when that $15 go up, when the $15 minimum wage go up, you think like Social Security checks and all that gonna go up too?
I don't know. I ain't never had no Social Security or
You
nothing
need
like
a crazy check.
I
I'm
wish
sure,
I could have one.
You
Then I
need a
could sit here and
crazy
just be
check.
I'm
crazy
sure
and get
I'm
paid
sure
for
it should though, because I mean isn't it supposed to be for livelihood? So I'm thinking if the minimum wage goes up, then the Social Security
I
and
think
stuff
it
should go
would
up as
only
well.
go up if their current situation,
Yeah,
like
like
you
if
know,
their
needs
rent
went up.
needs it to go, because isn't
Exactly.
it based on like all that junk?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, y'all, we finna stick around for one more segment. Y'all, we will be right back. My celebrity guest to the Carlese Show. Welcome back to the Carlese Show. So, Jeremy, pull a question.
All right.
And read it like you graduated school, please. Make your mama proud, because you know she watching.
Every time, I'm kidding, I'm joking. Every time I try and give my boyfriend advice on something, he takes it the wrong way and he gets mad. How do I avoid an argument? Apparently, you need to stop giving dude advice, because if he can't, if he doesn't take it the right way, sometimes, like I've always been told, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, So if he's, consistently just bouncing back the advice you give, just stop giving him advice. And when he asks for it, be like, well, I'm not about to start an argument, so.
If you can't even lead the horse to water because he won't listen, leave him.
Yeah.
Leave him. Whoever, leave him. That's my answer to everything. They sneeze on you, leave them. The bills ain't paid, leave them. Like,
He look at you
leave
funny,
'em.
leave him.
It's all about, like she said last time, it's communication. Like, if you're talking to someone, usually if you're having a conversation with your significant other, and they take it the wrong way, it's because they feel like you're talking down to them.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to check your tone.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of us who our personalities are very dominating, and it seems like we're talking at them and we're not for their best interest. And sometimes we want to boss them around more than we
Yeah.
want to give advice. So sometimes it's good to just have a conversation and be like, hey, I'm not talking at you. I'm just letting you know this will help. This is advice for us. You got to kind of break it down and soften the blow.
Yeah, that was always my thing, because I kind of
Still
like,
your thing.
Well, it is my thing. I'm
Yes.
currently working on. I'm a work in progress, but I kind of like the way, like the tone of my voice, and like I can come off kind of aggressive sometimes. So I've learned that in my situation that I'm in now, I learned that, like, because we both are pretty headstrong and we both just want to be right all the time. And we both like,
And
we
yes,
don't-
you do.
We both,
Every time.
we both don't really, we're not like talking to each other to hear each other's point. We're talking to each other to try to prove our point.
Oh.
So it's more like
So
you
it's
gotta
like,
actually
it's,
listen,
yeah, it's like
know?
you throwing out, he throwing out, but who catching?
We not listening.
Somebody
Yeah,
gotta
you're
catch.
talking at
Yeah.
each other.
And so it's like you gotta kind of listen, you know what I mean? Because most of the times I just be like, I don't want to hear what you're saying because I'm right and you're wrong and you're stupid and you're dumb. Like,
So what are you gonna do now that you realize you do that? Have you taken precaution to try and fix that?
Yeah, I just be letting him win sometimes. I just let him think he wins.
Sometimes.
Well, he
And I
knows
just
that
be
now.
Like, okay, yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah,
then
I
that's
think-
not listening to. You say, okay, yeah, you're
No,
right.
some
That's
people
just,
you can't do that with.
But
You just
sometimes
can't.
you just have to agree
Pick
to
your
disagree.
battles,
Like
yeah.
for me, I had to learn, because my personality is like, I'm not gonna allow you to act like you're right if you're not right.
That's why we all
but that was always my thing. But it was only my thing because I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong.
Right.
Yep.
And that's why. And I felt like everybody
I
should
don't.
have that, that expectation. And I had to learn that everybody is not like that.
And that's
so
life.
my sister, who's married, and she's, they learn all that marriage communication. She was telling me the other day, like, sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. You're not gonna be on the same page as everybody. And then she was telling me, I need to learn how to stop expecting everybody to be where I'm at because they're not. And it's like, ultimately, like, the way she said it was perfect. She was like, for 26 years of your life, and then for your boyfriend's 28 years of life, you've been one way. And then you try and bring that together, and I'm trying to expect him to be my 26 years.
I'm guilty of that.
Whatever,
I mean, even with friends, you're like, since this is how I know, this is what I've been doing, so how you don't know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, bro, like, I haven't grown up with you. Like, I've been doing it this way. So sometimes you have to really reel it in and be like, oh, yeah, they don't. And then when they say certain things, you get mad, like, I don't know where you come from. And it's crazy as human beings, but when you get caught up in a conversation and you're conversing with someone, you don't think of all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't think of, okay, let me slow down. You thinking like, no, they trying to back me into the corner. I ain't going down.
I'm fighting, I'm barking my way.
And it's just, but as you mature as an adult, then like you said, you realize that like you pick your battles. Some things aren't, and it's okay to say, okay, you like blue, I like red. That's perfectly fine. Instead of you trying to convince me to like red and why red is better. Like, I don't care why red is better. I like blue.
Yeah.
It's hard for us gay guys though, because we'd be like, no, this is why I feel this way, and this is why you're going to feel that way too.
Yeah, I think I'm a gay guy in my head.
Not
She's
catty.
a gay guy in her
I think
head.
I'm a gay guy
Not
because
catty.
I'm like that too. I'd be like,
I'm
you see
not.
what I'm talking about? Like, but at the same time, like depending on topic, you know what I mean? Because the one thing I was just telling you when I talked to you yesterday, like that's why I love the world, because we can feel however we want to feel, and just because our right is one way doesn't mean somebody else's right. You know what I mean?
I also think it's the type of advice you give, because some people give a lot of unsolicited advice,
Better
advice
preach.
that you did not ask for. There's a whole bunch of Google, doctors out there that'll be sitting there, oh, I read this and you shouldn't be doing this, or you need to start drinking this type of water, or you need to do this and do this, when you didn't ask for it, like, let me do me, if I'm eating a hamburger and you're a vegan or whatever, don't come and try to push your, thoughts or your ways on me, because it's not going to work.
A lot of times too, though, we got it bad. We call one of our friends or we call somebody and say, I need some advice, when you really just want to vent. So call them and say, I just want to vent. I don't want no advice. I don't really want to hear, you know what I mean?
hear
I
me
just
out
need to
for a
let it
second.
out.
People already know what they're gonna do in their head before they ask you, like,
Right.
oh, should I do this? They already know what they want to do. They just want you to reiterate that to them. And then if you don't, then it's like, why did you ask me for? You know what I mean? Like, if you
And it's like, I didn't ask you, I just wanted to talk. And it's just like, then you feeling mad. You like, oh, no wonder they left you. Johnny, pull the next question.
I am from Sacramento, and my husband is from LA. We met during college, and now we are butting heads about where we want to live because his family is in LA and mine is in Sacramento. Any advice?
Leave them.
I got plenty of advice.
Ashley, go ahead, start it off.
You gotta I don't know.
I think you have to come to a compromise. I'm actually dealing with that right now. Like, I'm from the Valley, but my boyfriend's from the Valley. He just doesn't live here anymore. But you just have to come to a compromise. Like, shoot, get a map out and be like, out of all these places, where do you want to live? Like, because you may have to be like, all right, we ain't going to live here and we ain't going to live where you live. We're going to live somewhere else. Like, if you really want that part of your relationship to work, or your relationship to work, period, you have to compromise. And part of that is like, maybe like, you'll visit LA, get a timeshare in LA or a timeshare in the Bay or whatever, and compromise like that. But
that's hard
you
because it's
you
like,
gotta work
whose
it out.
family is more
it's
important?
not
Like, is
sometimes-
yours important?
But it's
Like,
not. You
Sometimes it doesn't
gotta
have stuff to
split
do
it
with
up.
family. It kind of depends.
Career,
like, who's,
too.
like career. Like, who has the better job? Whose job can relocate? Who has the better apartment? Who's, you know what I mean? Who has, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that would go into it, because I'm deathly afraid of being away from my family.
You are.
But because everybody, I love my family. But I'm very afraid of being too far away from them. But if the situation came up to where, you know what I mean, I had to move because it would be better for like my whatever I have going on with my boyfriend, or you know what I mean, whatever. Like, I would, you know what I mean. If that's the right move, I'm not gonna be selfish, you know.
you really
I think-
would move.
Yeah.
Nope.
If the coins was right, yeah.
Coins.
I
I think you have to have realistic expectations, like you were saying. Like, if the better opportunity was there, but you know what I mean? Because it's like sometimes we are selfish because we get stuck in our own ways and we're comfortable here or there, wherever we're at. And it's like you do have to like put everything into perspective.
And I'm gonna miss my grandma.
Because you can come see Granny.
I think families is usually the main thing. Couples, tend to pull, couples apart sometimes. But I think when it comes to moving or, like you guys said, opportunities, where are the jobs located? Where can you guys actually thrive or, prosper at? You guys take that in consideration. Don't worry about, okay, whose family's here, whose family there, because when it comes down to it, when you guys move, are you guys moving in with your family or are you guys moving to start a life with each other? So I think you guys have to actually look at each other and see, okay, where we're gonna move at, if you're in a medical job and he's in a lawyer or whatever, what's going on, you guys see what city is gonna be able to, finance the move and everything and where you guys gonna live at and stuff. I think that's the main issue.
That makes sense, but in careers and jobs, that is important, but it's like, what's your happy place? A lot of people, family is their happy place, and that's the reason for their existing, and that's what makes them happy. So you can have all the money in the world and be by yourself or in New York and miserable.
Right.
So you can't, if you really like, you know what I mean? And this world is hard to be in, and it's a hard world. So every chance you get to be happy, like, you need to be happy. You got to take advantage of being happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I totally understand. So real quick, would you move or would you call it quits?
I definitely would move.
I moved. I moved halfway across the country.
Would you move? You wouldn't.
I wouldn't move.
He wouldn't move.
No.
He ain't leaving his mama.
I move.
You move?
I mean, but it would have to be a right situation.
Last question, Courtney.
Don't mind if I do.
Come on, Courtney Nasty.
I'm secretly in love with my best friend's girl. He cheats on her all the time. Do I make a move or just leave it alone?
Okay,
That
D'Angelo
was
Russell.
the thing, yeah.
That's the fact that that's your best friend's girl. You shouldn't even be looking
No,
at her
yeah.
like that.
But sometimes people can't help who they maybe
Yeah.
fall in love with, and I think that you should just definitely
He fell in
sit tight.
infatuation.
Fall
Like,
back.
you sit tight, and if their relationship, if it's already bad and he's cheating on her, just hold tight. Like, it ain't gonna last forever, And if he really wanted her that bad, he wouldn't be cheating on her. So, you know what I mean?
So-
Wait till their relationship fall to pieces and crumble like it sounds like it's gonna do anyways.
So you
and
can
then go on and
swoop?
swoop in.
But no, even if you do, so that means your best friend's not, if that's your best friend, that's the person that's one of the most important people in your life. Even if
Right.
they do break up and you get with her, you're not gonna be able to continue that best friend friendship.
And depending on how your best friend felt about her, if he was just like, oh, she was just bad, and I was just smashing.
No,
like,
it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be, if it's something that he's actually thinking about, that means it's something, it's
yeah,
a
it's
relationship.
premeditated. Yeah, how about you go and
Exactly.
leave that alone and just take a picture of her and to have it in your private
If you
time.
have it in your mind that it's wrong, then you already know it's wrong. Your conscience is telling you should not do this. So even for you to be writing in saying, should I do it? It's my best friend's girl. Think of what you just said. Your best friend's girl.
Exactly.
Your conscience saying this is wrong. Best friend's girl. This is wrong.
And how can you ever trust your best friend if he got your girl? And if your girl would break up with him and get with you, how can you trust her to be your girl and not to pull something else
Yeah,
down?
but like if I bring another friend around, you're gonna be looking at them too, or
Ashley, can somebody swoop on yours?
No.
You'll be at the barbecue like,
I wish you would try.
Right, exactly. She's like, I got this knife. She's
said
gonna
you
cut
can
you
try.
wide open. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not okay with that. Like, no, it's a lot of people who go find somebody else. And even if you do have a secret thing, you could keep a secret. Go have sex with them on the low. That don't need to be out. Y'all don't need to be together. That don't need to be anything. So,
scandalous.
I mean, if you have to, I mean, like if that's like last resort, if you just need
Gotta
to
get
get that
that
off your
out.
chest, then
Yeah, if
The
go
last
do it. But
resort.
if it's really, really that serious.
Right.
So,
Y'all
but I would
believe
not
us?
do that.
Get it together.
So anyways, y'all, thank y'all for being here again as we wrap up this segment. And we need to tell Trina that sorry we couldn't have you here, but we'll have you here in next episode. Also,
One of
shout
these
out to
days.
Wendy Williams. I want you to be a guest on my show soon.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Exactly. Y'all, all right, thank y'all for tuning into the Carlese Show.
Bye.